And hello, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan, once again bringing you my thoughts and review for the brand new and final episode of Season 1 of Andor, Episode 12. Now, hopefully you guys had a great holiday, just as I did, and took a little break, but I'm back. I finally watched Andor, and oh boy, was this a very satisfying conclusion to the first, I guess, season, because I'm pretty sure we're going to get another season or two, but I don't know. Anyway, so let's talk about it. So if you have not seen Andor, I highly recommend you go see Andor and finish that up, because what a doozy. Okay, so we all know Cassian is at the point, he's finally free from the little prison that he was being held captive, even though the Empire kind of had him at the time and never really realized it. He loses his mother. He wants to go try to, pay his respects for, I guess, the Empire decides to give the town permission to do a funeral, and it's also setting up a trap to get Cassian to come through, say his goodbyes, so they can capture him properly and put him in prison, even though he was already in prison. But what can he do? And so he goes, but he also ends up finding out that his best friend, the girl, I forgot her name, I apologize, she's been being tortured by the Empire as well. And he decides, okay, I need to get her out of there ASAP. I know this is a trap. He knows they're all trying to look for him. And while the funeral is going on, a message starts playing from the droid that Cassian's mother left, basically saying, let the revolution begin, let the Empire fall, and the hell with them. So pretty much chaos ensues. The villagers decide, you know what, we're sick and tired of this Empire problem. Let's take them out and start a rebellion right here, right now. And that's basically what the spark was of the rebellion to basically begin. Even though it already started, but this was like the big fire, if you will, of like, okay, these guys are starting to become a real problem here. And you see the Empire, they got the stormtroopers there, you got the Imperial soldiers there, and they're getting their butts handed to them, especially the one investigating woman who's been trying to get Cassian since the whole thing started. She gets jumped as well. She almost gets caught. She actually gets saved by the inspector guy who was actually trying to, get Cassian first, because he has his own division to deal with. And we see Cassian trying to, find a way to get his friend and get her out of there and leave. And yet the rebellion has begun. The Empire is starting to notice it now. It's become more louder and louder. So we get to see all that in this episode. And Skarsgård shows up again. He ends up helping Cassian and, find his way. And of course, he escapes as well. And we see Cassian and Skarsgård kind of butt heads a little bit, because it looks like Skarsgård was going to turn Cassian in for his own benefit, because his whole operation of what he was doing starts to get kind of shaky. So he needs his own leverage in a way. So he tries to use Cassian as I guess, like, what do you call, like a lightning rod, kind of thing, so he can make some cash out of him. Doesn't go through. They go their separate ways, and it just ends when Cassian just leaves. What does that set up for next season? Hard to say. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of still questions we haven't got. We haven't seen Cassian meet his robot friend, so we haven't seen that. Obviously, we're not going to see Jen Erso in this, because this is before Rogue One. But there are some teasers in here that pretty much lead into it. And I'm going to spoil the after credit here, because it's so minor. Everybody knows about it. If you've seen Rogue One, you know where this is going. The after credit, if you don't want to know what it is, spoiler 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the after credit, no shocker, is the fact that the Empire is building the Death Star. And now this is early Death Star. The Death Star is pretty much outside, pretty much done. Remember, in episode 3 of Star Wars, the skeleton of the Death Star was being built. It's all been finished. All the main parts of outside was pretty much done. Now they're working on the inside, and also the cannon, the space laser cannon that's attached to the Death Star is being built. So it's setting up, obviously, where this season goes to Rogue One. and it's awesome. And I think it's just proves that this was a great connection to Rogue One. It had a lot of moments in here that really shaped that film for me, in my personal opinion. There were some great stories about certain characters that we know from Rogue One and where they were before Rogue One even happened. Where you see, Cassian as a character and why he ended up being who he is. We get to see other characters be who they are. How did the rebels become the rebels? We get to see it here. And I thought this show did a really good job of showing that. And it didn't drag on. And it didn't, throw me off for a loop. I thought every episode was great. Yes, there were some episodes that were slow. But there were, for me, slow doesn't bother me. Slow only bothers me if I don't connect to the story. However, in this, the story captivated me in a way that I was like so intrigued because I knew where everything was going. I knew, okay, all this leads up into Rogue One, but how? How does all this lead up to it? And we got it. Now, there's some pieces still missing. Obviously, the puzzle's not done yet. But I'm pretty sure if there's a second season or even a third season, all the pieces will finally come together and we'll see that. And it's going to be great. And I cannot wait to see more. I really thought they did a good job with this show. Kathleen Kennedy, Dave Filoni, and obviously Jon Favreau. I think they all did a great job with the show, giving us a good Star Wars show. Yes, you want to say it's slow, didn't have enough action, no lightsabers. Yeah, but how many times are we going to see those shows? We look, we have our Mandalorian. We love it. Boba Fett was okay. Could have been better. Maybe they'll do a show about a Jedi who survived Order 66 besides Ahsoka that we can get. Who knows? We have to be patient. There's a lot of Star Wars out there that we need to see. And them telling the story, I think they did a good job and I enjoyed it. So, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about this. Did you guys enjoy Andor? Did you guys not like it? Did you guys tap out maybe after the first 2 episodes? Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought. Stay tuned for more, and thank you very much, and have a good night.